Appreciate that, Coach. Happy you guys are all joining us today. Like Coach said, my name is Ben Olson. I'm the D-line coach for the Riders. Technically, I've been the D-line coach for the Riders for a year now, but haven't actually been able to step foot in Mosaic yet, which I'm excited to do. But just to kind of let you guys know what we're going to go over, really going to focus on attack D-line play. That's where my belief is up front, is it all starts with the attacking mindset, okay? But anything you guys see, like I know it's going to go on YouTube, everything's on PowerPoint. Feel free, reach out to me, I can send it to you guys. But no, I'm just excited to talk some football finally. But what you guys are going to see, you're going to see a little bit of Rider film, but what you're going to see a lot of, especially drill-wise, is 2019, I was a D-line coach at McNeese State University, which is a Division I school in NCAA. And so that's where a lot of the film is going to come from. So that's what you guys are going to see, okay? So, but we'll throw some Rider film in there for you too, okay? But we'll get going here, okay? So me and Coach are kind of messing around with it earlier. Let's see if I got it right here, Coach. All right, I gotta switch this. All right. So like I said, we're going to talk about attack first D-line play, okay? And kind of what that means to me and how I teach it, okay? But before we talk about the technique of attack D-line play, I really want to talk about my coaching philosophy, and I hope some of you could get something from this, because I believe this is where it all starts, right? I think there are more than one way to skin a cat. And it really doesn't matter what you do in a way, but if your guys believe in you and will play hard for you, that's where it all starts, okay? So that's why I want to spend a little bit of time on what I believe a solid coaching philosophy is and how I present, and do and kind of handle my position group, okay? To me, it all starts with honesty and trust, all right? And that's everything. Okay, and like I put right there, that's a two-way street. Okay, and what I mean by that is it's not just you asking for honesty and trust from your players, okay, but also you giving them honesty and trust. Okay, because if your players trust you, they're going to run through a wall for you. Okay, they're going to do anything that you ask them to do. All right, that's what us as coaches, that's all we can ask for, is your players doing what you ask them to do. Okay, in order to develop that honesty and trust, you got to develop relationships with them. You got to get to know your players, all right? Not just as football players, but as individuals and as human beings, okay? I believe that's paramount, okay? Develop your relationships, and it's not, you got to put the time in, guys. That's the number one thing, okay? In order to develop relationships, put the time in, okay? Really get to know your guys, get to know what makes them tick, okay? Right there, I put 2 rings, and when I was coaching in NCAA, that was my big thing. Okay, I want every single one of my players, okay, at the end of their career, to have on one hand, have a graduation ring, and on the other hand, to have a championship ring. Okay, that's what we strive for every day, is to get those 2 rings. Okay, because at the end of the day, it's my job not just to get you a championship ring, okay, but to develop you into better sons, husbands, fathers, okay? A big thing, you're starting to hear this a lot too these days, is really teach your players the why they're doing something, okay? Understand the why, okay? Because it's not just these days, it's not just, well, Johnny, do it because I'm the coach and I told you to do it, okay? Because that doesn't really go with the kids these days. You gotta, once you tell them why they're doing something, and describe it to them and explain it to them, they're going to do it that way that you're asking them to do it. Okay, another big thing I'm a believer in is to, especially up front with D-line, O-line, that's where it all starts, is to instill confidence in your group, okay, and camaraderie within your position group. Okay, how do you do that? I'm a big believer, okay, in having a deep D-line. Okay, I like to roll guys in there and roll guys out of there. Doesn't matter on the situation. Okay, I'm gonna play you. Okay, if you got guys there and you got a deep position group, you're gonna number one, create competition, which is great. okay? But you're also going to create a camaraderie, no egos. Everybody understands what their role is, and that goes back to honesty and trust. Okay, you can't have any gray with it. Okay, it's black and white. Everybody understands what their position is, what their role is within your group, within your team. Okay, see, I got be precise about your expectations. Okay, what I started doing a couple years ago when I was a D-line coach at Yale, instead of just me listing day one of training camp, putting a list out there, this is what the expectations are for our group. Instead of doing it that way, what we did first day was we went over what the expectations as our group should be, what I should expect from them, what they should expect from me, and what they should expect from each other. And it was a great exercise. Okay, it's something that I really strongly urge you all to do. Once we get back going into training camp and football, spend a day and go over the expectations as a group together. Okay, because they're going to take more ownership in that. And I think that's it was an awesome exercise that really I think we got a lot out of. And finally, my biggest philosophy, one of my biggest philosophies is to have your players understand to be where your feet are. Okay, there's a lot going on these days in this world. Okay, if your guys can understand that right now I am in classroom, that's what's most important right now. Okay, if your guys can understand that I'm at practice, that's what's most important right now. Leave your baggage at the door. Okay, be where your feet are at. Okay, I think if you can get your players to understand that, they're able to kind of focus more on what they're doing at the moment, and you're going to get a lot more out of them. Okay. Another thing I'm big in is what I call the playing phases. Okay, and this is me as a coach. This is what my job is for on-field development. Okay, thinking phase is the number one. Everybody starts here day one in the thinking phase. First day of training camp, we're all out there. Okay, we are thinking what we're doing. We're thinking what the call is. We're thinking what our job or responsibility within that call is. Okay, we're thinking what the technique I'm about to use is, and that's okay. All right, and you got to let you guys know that's okay. Day one, you're gonna think while you're out there. Okay, but it is our goal, okay, and we're going to strive every day to get out of the thinking phase and start playing with habits. Okay, because once you start playing with habits, then you're playing a little bit faster, you're playing a little more confident. All right, and what does it take to go from thinking to habits? Well, it takes repetition. Okay, it takes focus. Okay, and then once you start playing with habits, okay, now I get more reps. Now I'm playing with instincts. Okay, sometimes I'm going to know what the offense is doing before they do it. Okay, that's where you see those all-American, all CFL level players. All right. Now this is kind of where you see, some of those you might have a player that has all the potential in the world and they don't quite reach it. Well, maybe they're playing a little bit thinking. You probably see that in some of your guys. Well, in order to understand how to get them out of that thinking phase, okay, you got to understand there's different learning styles. Okay, number one, okay, is there's visual learners, those players that learn through film study and through demonstrations. Okay, there's those auditory learners, the ones that learn best by listening and talking things out. Okay, there's those reading and writing learners. You give them handouts and they write notes of everything you say, and they go back and read those notes. Or there's the kinesthetic ones who learn best through walkthroughs and practice reps. Well, it's my job as a coach, your job as a coach, okay, to make sure that you're applying all of these different types of learning styles to your position group, and for you to understand which one of your players, okay, learn best through each of these styles. All right. And I think once you kind of understand where your players fall within these different learning styles, you're going to see them go through these different phases quicker. All right. You're going to start seeing them really play with instincts because they understand what you're doing better. And they're going to start playing a lot more confidently, a lot more quickly. All right. Okay, so this is what we really want to talk about today. Okay, is the attacked, react, D-line play. That's where I'm a big believer in. All right, like I said before, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Okay, there's react and attack D-line play, and there's advantages to that. Okay, but I'm a big believer in attack D-line play, attack first. Because our objective as a D-line is to stop the run and to disrupt the quarterback. Okay, that's everything. Okay, if you can stop the run and you can disrupt the quarterback, and when I say disrupt the quarterback, I mean disrupt the quarterback with 4 rushers or 3 rushers, not having to bring blitzes. Okay, then you're going to be successful on defense. All right, and that all starts with an attack first mentality. All right, and with that, just like anything, there's strengths and weaknesses. Okay, strengths of being an attack first mentality is you're going to create big plays up front. You're going to create those TFLs. You're going to create sacks. Okay, you're going to create disruption. You're going to knock off pullers. You're going to not allow the running back to run straight north and south. You're going to make them bubble. Okay, and I think attack first mentality is going to instill confidence in your players up front. Because I think if they know that they have the ability to get off the football and attack the man against them in front of them, then they're going to be able, okay, to play more confidently instead of just waiting and catching and reacting. Okay, I think it's easier to convert to pass when you're attack first mentality. And I think a big believer in this is keeping the O-lineman on their toes. Okay, us coaches, okay, we understand the game. We understand the way the game works. We understand the math behind the game per se. Okay, we're not going to fool each other. Okay, I think what my job is to give my players different ways to keep the O-lineman on their toes, make them play slower, right? Make them question what's going on. I want them to go to the sideline, to the bench between series, and there's mass hysteria going on over there. They're trying to figure out what's going on. And I think being an attack first D-line play, can create that because of what you can do off of it, which I call manipulating the front, okay, which we'll get into a little bit more. All right, some weaknesses, just like anything, there's weaknesses to everything, okay, and you got to understand what those weaknesses are, okay, and you got to drill the weaknesses. One big weakness when it comes to attack first is penalties, offsides penalties, hard counts. Okay, you're going to see a lot of it. You got to drill it, okay, run going away from you, especially cut blocks. Okay, you're gonna see that, and you gotta drill it. Trap plays and screens. Okay, other things you're gonna see when you're attack first D line. All right, but that's okay, and you gotta understand that you gotta have drills for it, so your players know how to react when they see those different things. All right. Now, when you're attack first D line, okay, it all starts with your stance and your drills, and this is where we spend most of our time. Okay. Because at the end of the day, as a defensive line coach, I can't tell my guys what the snap count's going to be, and I can't tell my guys what the offensive play is going to be. Only the O-linemen know that, but my guys don't know that. Okay? The advantage that we have as defensive linemen is our stance and our get-off. Okay? The amount of force that we can generate if we have the correct stance, okay, and we have the correct mentality when we're getting off the ball, okay, can make a huge difference in the way that the play works in our favor. Okay, you see there in parentheses in all caps, I got launch. Okay, because when I'm attack first, you're not going to hear me talk about take a first step by your stance. Okay, don't say you want to be an attack first D line. Okay, and get in a stance and take a step out, take a step out, take a step out. I hear it a lot. I don't believe in that. Okay, launch out of your stance. Okay, if I'm going to attack first, if I want to punch you in the mouth, if I want to create knockback at the line of scrimmage, launch out of your stance. Okay, bring it back to the stance a little bit. We'll get into the launch aspect. Okay, but it all starts in. Sorry. See if I can pull the laser. All right, awesome. Okay, it all starts with your power leg. All right, you see right here in this picture. Okay, it's a right-handed stance. Left leg, if you're in a right-handed stance, your left leg is your power leg. That is loaded. Okay. My entire mind, everything I'm thinking is I'm going to launch and snap off this leg. It almost looks like you're jumping out of your stance. Okay. You got a slight stagger in your feet. Okay. You got a flat back. Your eyes are up, looking at your visual key, your offhand. That's a good power angle. That thing's ready to punch. Okay. But everything when you're talking about attack first D line, okay, talk about your loaded power leg. Okay, what kind do I mean by that? Okay, it's all about the shin angle. Okay, you see this picture on the left, okay, this player for the Carolina Panthers, his shin angle is 45 degrees. Okay, 45-degree shin angle is a good shin angle when you're an attack first D line. Okay, on the right side, okay, the player from Mississippi State's almost a 90-degree shin angle. That is a bad shin angle when you want to be in an attack first D line. Okay, good shin angle. So when I challenge you guys to go back, okay, when you day one, look at your players' shin angles. Okay, try to get them more in a 45-degree shin angle, so that way they can create force, okay, out of their stance. And some of you might be track coaches. I hear track coaches talk a lot about this with the sprinters, but the ability to create force out of your get offs. Okay, that's what we're trying to do when we're attack first D line. We're trying to create that force, okay, because that's my advantage as a D lineman. Okay, I don't know the snap count, I don't know the play. Okay, my advantage is my stance, my ability to get out of it and create force and create knockback out of that stance. Okay, how about 2-point stance? Okay, we do a lot of 2-point stance. And it doesn't, I'm a big believer in outside leg up in my 2-point stance because that's the same as if I'm in a 3-handed stance with my reactions. Okay, but there's advantages to having your inside foot up too. I understand that. Okay, the big thing, okay, when you're a 2-point stance, what we call coil the load leg. Okay, and snap out. Okay, let me pull this up for you. I know I'm gonna have to switch my screen over here. See if I'm able to do this. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. Give me a little back and forth with the filming PowerPoint here. You see, I got the film done. It's all through links. But anyways, you'll see over here on the left. Okay, Chandler Jones. Okay, he's in a 2-point stance, outside leg up. Okay, before the snap, you're gonna see him coil. Right there, that's a coil. That's what we call coiling in our 2-point stance. Okay, because it's hard. I mean, it's hard to stay down in that bent stance all the time. That's okay. Okay, start up a coil, load that thing. Okay, because as I coil, that puts my mind back in the frame of loading that drive leg, which is my up leg in a 2-point stance. You're gonna see them coil and snap off. Okay, there's no wasted movement. Okay, if my mind is on loading up my drive leg, you're not gonna see me step with that leg. Okay, everything's gonna be out, snapping outwards. All right, and that's what you see there, coil. He's high, he coils, and he snaps off. Okay, get back to my PowerPoint. Okay, so that's what we're talking about in a 2-point stance, is coiling that load leg. All right. When you're in a head up, react attack stance, all right, that's going to be a little more even weight on the insteps. All right. So if you're an attack first D line, okay, you shouldn't see even footwork and see his shin angles are both 90 degrees here. Okay, he's waiting for the O lineman to act first before he reacts and then attacks. And that's okay. There's a place for react attack stances and react attack D line play, but we're talking about attack react D line play. I'm gonna share some drills with you, okay, that I love and we work that crap out of when it comes to our get offs. Oh, wrong button. Okay. This first drill, we call it the 3-point explosion. Okay, all it is you're gonna get 3-point stance. Okay, and this drill is just focusing on the hip thrust out of your stance, creating that hip explosion out of your stance. Okay, focus on getting that full extension in my drive leg. All right, that's all this is. This is just snapping out of my stance, creating that force. All right, I'm a big believer. You're gonna see it. Okay, is that your feet are gonna follow. Your feet naturally follow your body. Okay, so don't worry about stepping and keeping your feet underneath it. That's naturally gonna happen. Okay, we'll focus on launching off the ball, creating that snap, creating that knockback. okay, out of your stance. Okay, this next drill you're going to see. Okay, let's see if that worked. Okay, this next drill you're going to see is probably my favorite drill. Okay, I didn't really understand this drill when I first saw it. Okay, I'm like, why are these guys jumping on this crash mat, right? And I didn't really get it. Okay, that's back when I thought you had to step out of your stance. Okay, this whole drill, okay, is about launching out of your stance. Okay, loading up your drive leg and launching out of your stance. All right, and this drill we do every single day. It's a quick, easy drill. Okay, very easy. Okay, you guys just get up there, load up the drive leg, and what you'll see is, okay, if you're looking at your players' get-offs, okay, look at their drive leg and see it literally snap. Okay, if your player's drive leg literally snaps, they're creating force out of their stance. That's what you want when you're attack first D-line. Okay. Like I said, we do this. It's a very quick and easy drill. It gets them in that mindset to start the day. I got to load up my drive leg and I got to snap out of my stance. Okay, we can go from a 0 step, which you just saw, to a one step. Okay, now he's going to move the crash pad a little bit farther away from him. Okay, good shin angle. Now it's going to be a launch and then a launch off your second foot. Okay, launch, 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 launch. Okay, launch, launch. Creating that explosion, creating that force out of your stance. Launch, launch. Okay. And now, as soon as you get on doing the crash pad, get off, crash pad, launch, okay, this is the drill that we go right into. Okay, it's just air get offs. All right, and then now your players are focused again. They go from the crash pad where their whole focus is loading up their drive leg and exploding out of their stance. Okay, now they're going to do it on air and actually going to run off the ball. And you can see that they're out of their stance, they're going. Okay, they're all good shin angle. They're exploding, they're running out of their stance. Okay, another drill that I had to do a lot when I was at McNeese because they didn't really understand the whole concept of loading up your drive leg, okay, is just an agile, get a couple of agile bags, put it right in front of them. Okay, now you really got to explode and get that foot over the top of the agile bag and get it down on the ground. Okay, I've heard before people talk about they don't want their D-line to take too big of a step. Okay, I don't really understand that because at the end of the day, as an attack first D lineman, my whole mentality is to create knockback. Okay, if I would take too small of a step, okay, that means I'm not launching out of my stance. If I'm not launching out of my stance, then how am I going to create knockback? Then everything for my knockback has to be upper body strength, right? Okay, don't worry so much about taking too big of a step. All right, they're going to get that foot down on the ground as quick as they can, and their hands are going to come. Or we're getting to the drills with the hands and the punch. Okay, but don't worry so much about taking too big of a step when you want to be in an attack first D line. Just put an agile bag in front of them, hard count. Okay, you'll see a hard count all the time. Okay, because that's one of the weaknesses when you're attack first. Okay, they're getting off the rock. Okay, they're snapping. You can see all their legs snapping. They're snapping out of their stance. Okay, that's what you want to look for in your players. Okay, a drill we like to do a lot is the shoot get offs. Okay, same thing. Now we're just getting to shoot. All right, same exact concept. I'm launching off my drive leg. Okay, now I'm going to keep my pads a little bit lower. Okay, but watch this drill here. Okay, you're going to see the player on the right not worried about the shoot, launch with a good shin angle and good explosive, good force. You're going to see the player on the left worried about the shoot. Okay, and kind of step more out of his stance. Okay, watch the player on the right launching out of his stance. Okay, now watch the player on the left kind of step out. You can look at these two right here and tell which one's more explosion, which one's going to create more knockback at the line of scrimmage, and which one's not. Again, we talked about run away, right? One of the weaknesses to being an attack first D line, or retracing. Okay, screen retracing. Okay, work different line drill. Okay, different reactions off of their get off to help you with that. Okay, you'll see here we'll give them a right and a left. Okay, work that into your drills because it's a weakness. We know that going in. Okay, ball get off. Okay, this is just another way to kind of start bringing your hands to the party. Okay, we talk about our hands. Okay, we talk about getting our hands from the ground to the man as quick and as tight as possible. Okay, because my upper body is not what's going to create that knockback if I'm truly launching off the football. If I'm truly launching off the football because I'm attack first, my get off, my drive leg, okay, snapping off the football is going to create that knockback and that force. My hands is going to create the extension. Okay, so all I want to do is get my hands from the ground to the man as fast as tight as possible. That's all this drill is. Okay, they're going to key the med ball. Once the coach picks it off the ground, they're going to snap off the ball. Okay, and they're going to get their hands and punch it. Okay, I like this drill. I don't love this drill because their focus goes away on the get off from launching off the ball and more to their hands. Okay, but if you see your guys have issues and they're a little slow with their hands, throw a 10-pound med ball at their face. There's no better way to get them to quicken up their hands than that. Okay, that's all this drill is, just kind of quicken up the hands. You do underneath the shoot as well. Okay, the number one get off drill that we start working though, once we kind of progress through it, is what we call the pop-up get off drill. All right. And what this drill is it's just you can get the pop, and I know there's a difference in the CFL, the Canadian football, with the 1 yard. Okay, but if you truly get off the ball, the way that you launch off the ball, you're going to make up that yard pretty quickly, I've found. All right, and even though, okay, this bag's not this tight, even in American football, the reason we have this pop up so tight to them is it gets their hands to go up and shoot quick and tight, as quick and as tight as possible. All right, that's the whole reason for it. Okay, even though you got that 1 yard difference up in the Canadian football, okay, I would still put this bag this tight just to get those quick and violent hands. Okay, you'll see right here. Watch out. He still snaps off the ball over the pad and has quick and violent hands. Okay, kind of see a couple clips here. Kind of see how it carries over. Okay, you're gonna see some McNeese clips. You're gonna see some Roughrider clips. All right, so you see right here, number 9. Okay, the left 3 technique. Watch, you can see him literally jump out of his stance. This is what we're looking for when we talk about launch off the ball. Literally jump out of your stance. He gets an overreach. He's able to backdoor pretty quickly because of his get off. Okay, see right here is going to be Mac Henry. Okay, you're going to see him get off the ball. Okay, he's at the left 1 technique here. Snap. See his good shin angle. Okay, eyes on his visual key. Visual key moves, snaps off the ball. He's got to bring his hands a little better. We see even without bringing his hands, just throwing his shoulder in there, the amount of force that he creates from his get off and the ability to literally launch out of your stance. And you see naturally his feet are going to follow. Okay, so you kind of see how much, since he's able to launch off that ball so quickly, he's able to make up that 1 yard a lot quicker than stepping off the ball. Okay, and you kind of see where bringing that pop-up get-off drill and putting it real tight, making him shoot his hands out of his stance will really help him create more extension here. Okay, see Big Mac Henry again getting off the ball. Same thing. I mean, he makes that 1 yard. He gains that ground pretty quickly out of his stance. See him snap off the ball and create that knockback, creating big plays, which is what we want when we're attack first D-line. Say Micah Johnson here, he's the right 2-eye. Okay, snap off the ball. Hands, create knockback. That's what we're looking for. Being disruptive out of your stance because of what you can create out of your stance, because of the force you can create out of your stance. Okay, one more example here and we'll move on. Okay, same thing. Just be able to create force out of your stance, be able to create that knockback right there. That's what we're looking for in our attack first D-line. Okay, creating that knockback, creating that extension. Okay, he's got control of the block now. He can do what he wants with it. Let me share back over to the PowerPoint here. Guys, please, if you have any questions, write them down. We'll get to them at the end. I'm going to keep going here with the attack D-line, okay? The other big thing with the attack D-line play is, understanding your visual keys and your pressure keys. Okay, and what are those? Okay, I like to keep it pretty simple. Okay, visual key is my get-off indicator. That's literally when I'm in my stance, that is who I'm staring at. And you will be surprised the amount of players that don't understand that their visual key is where their eyes are when they're in their stance. Okay, make sure when your players are in their stance, their eyes are not at the ground. Okay, I'm also a big believer in not looking at the football. I'll peripher the football. Okay, but my visual key tells me when to get off the ball. Well, the reason for that is because if I'm looking at the football to get off, once that ball is snapped, I transfer my eyes to my visual key. Now that's a split second I'm going to lose on some sort of information that I'm going to need for that play. Okay, I want to stare at my get off indicator, which to me is that the visual keys near view of the neck. All right, that is who I am attacking. Okay, my pressure key, okay, that is where my eyes go if your visual key avoids you. That's who I fight pressure against. Okay, so you see here, okay, we got a right three technique. You got the center. Well, laser, we got the center, guard, tackle, okay? If I'm a three technique, my visual key is going to be the guard, okay? That is my get-off indicator. That is who I am attacking, all right? My pressure key is the tackle in this picture. Okay? If he leaves me, my eyes go to the tackle, all right? If my visual key comes to me, I'm going to knock it back. Okay, most of the time, my visual key is going to come to me, especially if I'm an inside guy. A lot of times, your visual key is going to come to you. Your whole mindset and your stance is, I'm going to knock my visual key back. Okay, because I'm in a good stance, I'm driving off the ball. If my visual key goes away from me, okay, I'm going to take an in-flight adjustment. Okay, I'm going to step at his hip. Okay, that's the only time you're going to hear us talk about stepping. Okay, my visual key goes away. So in this picture, okay, if I'm a three technique and this visual key goes down, I'm going to step at him. Okay, I don't want to keep stepping up the field then. Okay, I'm still loading up my drive leg, which is my right leg in this picture, and I'm still going to push off that leg. I'm going to make up that ground as quick as possible. Because if he goes away from me, this guy's trying to block me, most likely. Or if he's going away from me and he doesn't block me, I'm getting some sort of kick-out block. I want to be tight to my visual key then as well. So that's why I still want to load up my drive leg and push off of that. All right. My keys and my alignments are all based off of what the backfield set and my responsibility tells me. What do I mean by that? Okay. I'll take you back to 2019. This is kind of one of the scouting reports. We talk a lot about backfield sets. All right. I think you get a lot from backfield sets in American football and Canadian football. Okay. They tell you a lot of tendencies. Okay. 5-man block in front. What do I mean by that? There's no tight end, no fullback. It's just 5 O-linemen, quarterback, running back. That's a 5-man block in front. Okay. You can see here, Sam Houston had a huge tendency, 67%. That's a big tendency. 2 out of every 3 times you're going to pass the ball. I'll take that tendency. Okay. We knew in a 5-man block in front, if I was away from the running back, the other part of it was if there was a run, it was most likely a zone. Okay. So if I'm away from the running back, as you can see this top picture, I'm thinking take it. I'm getting off the ball. Okay, my visual key in the take it is the inside man. Okay, you can see here, okay, the middle picture is a split set. Okay, 67% run, that's a big tendency. If the fullback's outside the box, it's power or lead stretch coming back that way to the fullback. If he's inside the box, that fullback is coming back in this tendency. It's either counter, split zone, or ISO. And that can help your guys, kind of to develop the football IQ so they can kind of, have a little bit of an understanding of what's coming. They can play a little bit faster, right? Okay, stack, 77% run. You knew if he was outside the box, read zone arc. If he was inside the box, it was going to be stretch coming back. Okay, those are just tendencies and just, like I said, so if your players understand what's about to happen, okay, they can get into better alignments. All their alignments are based off the backfield sets. If the running back's 2 running backs away, there's a lot of things that we talk about as well. Okay, visual key 2. Okay, we're talking about visual key come 2, base, reach, overreach. Okay, what does that look like? How do we drill that? Pull up. I gotta get rid of my laser pointer. Okay, we work the 5-point punch is the #1 thing when the visual key comes 2. Okay. We saw with Mac, right? Mac had a great get off. Okay, Mac Henry, number 74, nose tackle, had a great get off at the goal line there. Okay, but he didn't bring his hands and create extension right away. Remember, knockback is created by the force in your stance. Okay, extension is created by your upper body, your punch. Okay, we talk about down hand through the sternum, outside hand through the near shoulder to stop the reach block. As what is the drill we work? Okay, hands from the ground to the man as quick and as tight as possible. Also, we call it a 5-point punch. I know people do 6-point punch, but we don't get in 4-point stances. We're in 3-point stances. So I want to simulate that offhand up and ready from the position it's in this picture, going to that outside shoulder pad. So going inside sternum, inside down hand to the sternum, outside hand, okay, up hand through the near shoulder. Okay, those are our aiming points. And guys, it really, I don't overcoach the hand placement. I know some people do. I overcoach the get off. Okay, if my get off's right, I'm going to create knockback. Okay, even if my hands are wrong, like we saw on Mac. All right, but those are our aiming points. That's what we're staring at. That's where our visual key is. Okay, lift to stab drill. Okay, we start fitted up. Okay, we start fitted up. Okay, I just got off the ball. I made contact. Now I'm going to lift and re-engage my hips. Okay, I just got off the football. I'm in that contact phase. I want to re-engage my hips. Okay, lift to stab. This is something we'll talk a lot about when we talk about block disengage. Okay, but this is just the ability to re-engage my hips through contact, going from 2 hands to 1 hand to create that extension. Okay, that's all this drill is. 2 to 1. Okay, re-engage my hips, resync my hips, bring them back through contact. Okay, we'll work more sled work in. Okay, what sled work allows us to do is to bring our feet to the party, get our feet that feeling of pushing against somebody against its will. Okay, that's what sled work allows. Okay, so when you think about sled work, think about the feet. Okay, steer drill. Okay, steer drill is a great drill to do almost every single day, because a lot of times it's for a reach block, right? Like, so the point of the steer drill is I lost leverage of my gap, and now I got to regain leverage back. Okay, but how do I do that? It's a hard thing to do. Okay, the whole point of this drill is, 1, to create extension, create separation. Okay, so now I give myself some space to work my hips back into my gap. All right, instead of just turning and running, staying square and having some more control on it. Okay, so that's what this drill is, steer drill. Okay, it's not just a reach block. It could be a base block, and I might step outside my framework, and now I feel like I'm reaching. I got to steer drill my way back. And just be able to control the block a little bit more. Okay, see extension, staying square. Now it's feet back into my gap. Okay, this next 2 drills, we kind of set them up together. Okay, it's a good drill. You can do it with pads, without pads. Okay, we work. It's a reaction drill now, so they don't know what's coming. So it's all visual key 2. Okay, it's either going to be base block or reach block. All right. So now it's either I'm thinking launch out of my stance, create that force out of my stance, create that separation. Okay, you see right here, Cody, the far left right here, versus a base block, creating that separation, being able to go from 2 to 1 on the lift to stab. And then what you're seeing us work off of this is actually, it's kind of like an RPO. Okay, well, we're gonna react to pass now. It's one way to work it in. See a lot of RPO these days, be able to convert from run to pass. Okay, same drill, same setup. Okay, I want to work, so it's just a way to react now. Either get a base look, okay, or you get the reach look. Not knowing what's coming. Okay, I tell the O-line beforehand. Okay, now reach. Okay, the O-lineman's going to overstep and reach. Okay, if I get a reach step, I'm getting off the ball. Okay, visual keys to me, I'm still thinking knockback. If I'm in my stance, I'm thinking my drive leg's loaded up, and that visual key comes to me, I'm launching off the ball still. Okay, but now instead of trying to fight and run across so the running back can cut back in, I'm still going to stay vertical. Okay, you see in this picture, okay, the D lineman's hands around the shoulder. Okay, we call it tip drill. Okay, I want if the O lineman's bucket stepping and trying to overreach me, I want to control his shoulder and push him back. He's not in a powerful position right now. His hips are opened up. So if I'm able to get some little bit of force on that shoulder and he's real top heavy and control his gravity and knock him back a little bit more, then I'm going to slip off his back and make a play. Okay, a couple of looks at it. You see base block here. Okay, it's going to be this your left 3 technique. Kind of see what he does here. Launches off the ball. Not a great get off, kind of steps a little bit. He does create some force. Okay, you see he creates extension. Okay, but he's able to really control that O lineman. Okay, and the whole point of a base block, defeating a base block, okay, we talk about it a lot, is putting up the stop sign. Okay, I'm creating the knockback. I'm going to play on the other side of the line of scrimmage. I'm going to tell that running back, you can't keep running this way. Okay, control my gap. Okay, make him cut inside. I'm a gap and a half, which we'll talk about in a little bit when we talk about get offs. Okay, I want to move on here. Okay, I'm gonna, some of these we'll see. You guys can see them. Okay, if you guys want me to send you the PowerPoint, I want to make sure I cover it all. You see right here the right 3 technique on the overreach. I'm sorry, the reach block. Working the steer drill, staying square, be able to regain my gap back. Okay, and you're going to see the overreach. See the overreach. Which is going to be the 5 technique. Okay, to the left here. See him tip, get his hands on the inside shoulder pad, tip, and come back inside. Okay, force the ball carrier back. Okay, so that's visual key 2. Visual key 2, base, reach, overreach. My whole mindset is to knock back. If I get a visual key away, if my visual key goes inside release, scoops, inside pull, outside pull, okay, you got to drill those things as well. Okay, best way to just drill, okay, the visual key away is this is what I call the DM key drill. So basically, I'm just giving them different looks. Okay, that's how you drill when the visual key goes away from me and how I react, how I take that in-flight adjustment step. Okay, base block, launch, create knockback. Okay, the D lineman doesn't know what's coming. Okay, you can see the O lineman inside release. You can see the 5 technique here. Launch off his outside leg, still step at the inside hip, okay, and turn into a chase. Okay, still don't know what's coming. Launch out of your stance, base block, visual key to me, base block. Okay, and that's the best way to drill, okay, the visual key away. Okay, don't spend a lot of time on that. Spend a lot more time on visual key 2 in our drills. Okay, do a lot of half line pods with the O line, different looks, different reactions. Visual key away, okay, in-flight adjust, visual key away, in-flight adjust. It's a great way to get all the different looks so you can work visual key 2, visual key away. Okay. The big thing though, when it comes to visual key going away from me is just the effort and the angles I take when I retrace and when I pursue. Okay, so this is what we call a line drill. Get off, visual key goes away, plant my foot, In pursuit, flat down the line. Okay, same thing. Visual key goes away. Be able to stick my foot in the ground in pursuit. Oh, this thing's freezing up on me. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Froze up on me a little bit. Okay. You kind of see, I'll give you this clip of Micah Johnson from his last year, 2019 season. You kind of see what I'm talking about when I say in-flight adjustment step. Okay, so you see Micah's here, the left 3 technique. Okay, you're gonna see his visual keys, the guard. You're gonna see him, guard goes away, he's gonna take that in-flight adjustment step at the guard. Okay, I like to see him push more. Okay, push out of his stance more, load up that drive leg and really push at the guy. Okay, he kind of gets lucky, he doesn't get scooped. Okay, what he does a good job of when his visual key goes away is working flat and rip and run and flat down the line. Okay, still make a play. Okay, we talked about it earlier. Okay, one of the big things is cut to feet. Okay, if you're attack first. Okay, visual key, you see the nose tackle, the 1 technique. Visual keys, the center, he goes away. Okay, ready for the cut to feet. Hands down and away. Okay, flat down the line. Everything is flat down the line. Okay, once you realize the visual key goes away from you. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about this other stuff, guys. I really want to get going to the. Okay, we talk about passive and aggressive. Okay, so we're talking about where get off blocks. Okay, aggressive, when the passive, if no lineman's passive, that means I control him. I'm controlling that block. Okay, if I control that block, I'm going to use a shrug or cross face release. If an O-lineman's aggressive, he's really leaning into me, I'm going to use an apex. Okay, when we talk about apex, that's the most advantageous position for a D lineman. If an O-lineman's a real big leaner into me, I'm going to try to get to the back of his shoulder and pull myself through. Okay. Well, what that looks like. Okay, we're going to work. We're going to start. We like to start with pop-ups. Okay, shrug release. Get to the lift to stab. This is where lift to stab becomes important. I'm going to lift to stab. I got that separation. Eyes on the running back. Now, once I create separation, he releases into my gap. Shrug release violently and make the tackle. Shrug release. Okay. We work that into now squeezing the inside gap down, eyes on the running back. Running back goes either my gap or gap inside. If he comes in my gap, I shrug release off. Okay, that's what we call the squeeze drill, squeezing the inside gap once I got control of it. Okay, now if the running back finishes inside of me, okay, if he goes into the gap inside of me, gap and a half, okay, now I'm going to cross face. Okay, violently bring the offhand, chopping across the O-lineman's face. Okay, now he's going to squeeze drill. Okay, squeeze the gap down. Running back stays on the inside gap. Cross face. Okay, we talked about apex. Okay, apex is a term that we use a lot. Okay, that's when the O-lineman is so aggressive into me and I can't create that separation when I lift to stab. So I'm going to pull him down and away. And as I pull him down and away, pull that back shoulder down and away, I'm going to throw my hips through. So throw my hips through. Okay, and we can progress that to an apex tackle. Okay, so same thing, I fit it up. Well, lineman's leaning against me. I can't create that separation. Apex him and finish with a fit tackle. Okay, you can do out of a 3-point then. Okay, you can see this on film. You know, linemen, they're big lungers, real aggressive guys. Okay, if they know your attack first mentality, D-lineman, they're going to try to match your aggressiveness with aggressiveness. Okay, you should have apex in your arsenal. Okay. This is kind of what I'm going to end it on here, guys. So share my screen back. Okay. So we talked about attack first, attack first, attack first, attack first. O-linemen know if you're attack first. Okay, and they're going to try to match your aggressiveness with aggressiveness, like we talked about. So you got to have ways to manipulate the front, which we call it. Okay, to manipulate the front means to control or influence cleverly. I love that definition. Okay, and different ways you can do that. Okay, is by changing the three techniques technique. Okay, because if an O-lineman knows that you're going to play the combo block the same exact way every single time, they're going to know how to block it. So to me, you want to have two ways to play a combo. Either a base way, which is attack your visual key, throw my hip into my pressure key, create separation, pull myself through, or a take it, which I'm blowing the gap with my hands and forearms. Okay, I'm going to more attack the offensive tackle who's trying to scoop me or apply pressure. Okay, I want to have two ways to play a pull. Okay, if a center's back blocking a three technique, in our base way, we're probably going to hands the center and disengage and fold over the top. Okay, I also want to have the ability to just take that gap. Okay, because the center, if he knows I'm going to keep coming over the top, he's going to play it pretty passively. Okay, and then I can just blow the gap, get in the hip pocket of the puller, and make a play in the backfield. Okay, those are different ways we can manipulate the front. So our base way of playing a pull, okay, you'll see right here, the right three technique, guard's going to pull, center's going to back block. He's going to hands get over the top. Base way. Okay, see how you see how aggressive that center is. He's really coming. Okay, so I want to play that a different way. Because if he knows I'm going to do that every time, he's going to be a little bit more passive. Okay, so now do you see the right three technique again? Guard's going to pull. Okay, center's going to back block, and now we're going to blow that gap. Okay, so same exact thing, okay, versus a combo block, like we're saying. Okay, base way to play a combo block, as you can see the three technique on the left here, okay, is good. Like I said, attack your visual key, okay, create that space, pull yourself through. Okay, you also want to play it a second way, which is take it. Okay, which you're going to see him do here. Same exact game. Okay, same exact D-lineman. And now he's just going to blow that gap. And the way we control this is it's off a backfield set, but also if I'm a three technique, anybody's coming into my A gap, either the nose and across, or the linebacker blitzing. Okay, I want to take it. I just want to blow that gap. Okay, some people call it a B gap go. Okay, I call it take it, take the gap. Okay, you see him more launch into it. Okay, you see, okay, see this left tackle, how kind of passive he is, right? He thinks I'm going to be stepping in. He thinks I'm going to be stepping into the guard, okay, playing the combo the same way. And he's going to be kind of passive, okay, applying pressure, trying to scoop me possibly. Okay, I'm just going to blow that gap now. Create a little bit of knockback there. Okay, not only can you manipulate the front, okay, with your D-line, with your three techniques, okay. I'm going to pull up the PowerPoint. I know we're running close here. Okay, but I'm going to talk about this and I'll get to the film so I don't have to keep clicking over. We talk about manipulating with the three techniques. Okay, you can change your nose tackle technique, or what we call crash technique, right? So it's a line up in a 2-eye. Okay, and basically on the snap of the ball, I'm going to step and play a shade. Okay, you got to change your DNs. Big believer in this these days. Changing your DNs versus read. Make them sit, make them chase, or have them use up technique, and we'll go over that in a second. Okay, you can manipulate the front by stemming the front. Okay, you can manipulate the front by stunting the D-alignment. If I'm facing a very aggressive O-line, I'm going to stunt the front, make them fall on their face. Okay, or we can use what we call hokey technique. Okay, which is I'm going to, on a base block now, I'm going to hat in hands, or I'm going to rip into the inside gap. Okay, let me just show you this film as this will be it for the presentation. We'll get to some questions here. Okay, show you crash. Now work my way through the D end, the technique, stunting and hokey, just one clip each. Okay, we talk about crash technique. Okay, this is where I'm lined up in a 2-eye as a nose. Okay, because as an O-lineman, I'm going to play a 2-eye different than a shade. Okay, versus a 2-eye versus a combo, this guard's probably going to be more aggressive, and this center is going to be more applying pressure, as opposed to versus a shade. The center is going to be more the post player being more aggressive, and that guard's going to apply pressure. So it's just a way to make them confused. Okay, that's what we're looking to do. Remember, cause confusion for the opposing O-line. So you watch here, Micah is going to step to that shade on the snap. 2-eye, step to that shade. There you go. Create that knockback. Another way to attack. Okay. Talk about DNs, changing your DNs versus read. Okay, you see right here. Okay, the left DN, he's going to get an inside release by the tackle, and he's going to use a sit technique. Okay, which means he's got quarterback. He's got the dive player. He's got cut to keep. Okay, or he's going to chase, which means now on the inside release, he's going to take the dive player again, but now in this picture, okay, it's going to be inside zone, so the running back's the dive player. In the last picture, when he was sitting, it was power read, and the quarterback was the dive player. Okay, here the running back's the dive player. Okay, he's going to cheek. Okay, very important. If you ever chase your DNs, make sure you cheek them. Okay, what's happening here is the D end and the outside linebacker here are exchanging responsibilities post snap. Okay, so this B gap linebacker, he's reading this down block, this inside release. Once he gets that, he's going to loop out for the quarterback. It's a good way to, again, to manipulate the front. Change up what the quarterback's seeing, change up what the O-line's seeing. You got to make sure you cheek them down so that O-lineman doesn't work his way up to the unblocked player. Okay, and the last thing you can do with your DNs versus read is what we call up. Okay, now he's going to go up and down on an inside release. He's not going to in-flight adjust with it at all. He's going to work his way up. I like to see get his body turned a little bit more, okay, to face in the quarterback. Okay, but now once he takes away that outside play, now he's going to stick his foot in the ground and come back underneath. Okay, you could work this into different blitzes. Okay, just a different technique to use versus when your DN's being read. Okay, you can stunt to manipulate the front. So now this is what we call is a bang technique. Okay, you'll watch right here. Okay, so Micah's, if he's been an attack first this whole game, watch this guard really be aggressive versus him. Instead of him being attacked, now Micah, because of the call, we're going to loop him and be a little bit more passive. Okay, you got the other two techniques, you know, cut off zone and bring it back to him. Okay, big believer. Okay, just remember that. Go back to the philosophy of in run and pass. That if he's going to be passive, I'm going to be aggressive. If he's going to be aggressive, I'm going to be passive. So this is what we call hokey. It's another way to manipulate the front. Okay, if he's really thinking I'm going to be attack, aggressive, he's going to be aggressive. I'm going to be a passive. Okay, and come back inside. Just different ways again to be able to manipulate the front, change what you're doing. Okay, to make the old lineman confused. Okay, attack first D-line, okay, carries over to pass rush. Not going to get into pass rush, but the building blocks of pass rush are get off, eliminate space, recognize pass set, move, execution, and finish. You see those first two, get off, eliminate space. If I'm attack first, if I'm launching out of my stance, okay, I'm going to get off the ball, and I'm going to eliminate space. Everything you do in pass rush as a D-lineman needs to be to eliminate space, because space allows an O-lineman to recover. Okay. And at the end of the day, like we keep talking about, cause the opposing alignment to think. Okay. As a D lineman, as a D line coach, that's what you want to do. Okay. Attack, attack, attack. Manipulate the front off your attack mindset. I know I kind of sped up there at the end. I want to make sure I got through it all. Okay. If you guys have any questions, please write down my information. Again, my name is Ben Olson. This is my email. Okay. My Twitter handle. Okay. Reach out about anything. Okay. Anything you guys have. I got 9 more days in quarantine here in Regina, so I got all the time in the world. So if you guys have anything, want to talk some ball, let me know. I know there's a lot of information there. I kind of sped through a little bit. Get going and kind of lose track of time. But I appreciate all of you coming and listening. Hope you guys just got one thing from it. If you guys just got one thing from today, it's worth it. And I think that's whenever you go to these type of things, just try to get something, even if it's one thing to make you better. Appreciate Coach Jackson having me on. Appreciate it, Coach.